Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom, and welcome to another exciting impromptu from the Just Seen podcast. Today, no, season 8 is not coming back yet. Yet. I didn't say it's not coming back. It's not coming back yet. All right. But I had to take a quick break. I fucked y'all up with that PH jump. One of my homies was like, bro, he said, bro, how you just gonna drop an impromptu like that and then leave? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like just dip. Like, you feel me? Yeah, I put some nuggets in that. I put some nuggets in that. But I'm back to put some more nuggets and shit because I had time to sit and think. And lately there's been a concept on my mind regarding relationships and shit because it's shit like that is always on my mind. Like people always ask me questions about certain shit, but deeper than that, I was reading something and it was basically explaining interest, right? That's why you see the episode is called interest rates, right? But yeah, this time I got the title before. But yo, it's like I was looking at not just interest rates, but like interest as a whole. And it was like, damn, we've been looking at this shit all wrong. It's like our relationships are fucked up because we really don't be interested in people. But even deeper than that, y'all know I'm a big connoisseur of words. Y'all know I'm big on words. I love fucking words. So, pun intended, if you could say it, I do love fucking words up, like all of that shit. I love words, right? But more than loving just the word, I love definitions. I love knowing. I love understanding what the word is and how to use it. And one thing that I've learned and noticed that we've been doing is we've been living our lives according to using words that we don't understand. You feel me? I was talking to one of my bros and shit, my bro Pat, and we were we it was like in our conversation, it was like, bro, humans, like we fluently speak a language that we don't understand. You feel me? As black people in America, in the world, English as a whole, anybody who speaks English doesn't understand it. I don't give a fuck what you tell me. If you speak English, you don't understand it. You feel me? And I'm not trying to downplay and say I'm at some level because I understand that until I actually became conscious enough to dive into etymology and dive into root words and dive into cultural sounds and different things, different symbiotics of words that go back. That's what I had to do just to understand English, and I realized how confusing it is. That's how I know a lot of people don't understand English. And because they don't understand English, certain words we use on a regular basis that we never define. Humble, for one. I ain't gonna go down that rabbit hole because it's about interest, but I'm making my point. Specifically, the word interest, right? Interest is something that a lot of people say they are. This is something that was that was taught to me on a different level because I was like, man, shorties be interesting. And it's like, you gotta ask yourself the question, are you really interested? No, I'm gonna flip it. Are they really interested in you or are they just curious? And of course, I like entendres and shit. So this fits. So, as they always say, curiosity killed the cat. And I'll be like, why is it that as men, after we get the pussy and shit, we done? Because we were curious. We were never interested. Right. And then why do women stay in relationships far beyond where they were supposed to? Because they be interested, but don't be curious. Right. And vice versa. You could flip it. I'm being dramatic because there are dudes who be interested in women who are only curious about them. I know because I've experienced it. You feel me? The whole conscious woke era, that was, a whole bunch of curious women. They were never interested in me. And I didn't know that because it was, oh, peace king. I'm like this. I'm that. No, they were curious in me as a person. They were not interested. So a lot of people, it goes into that concept of like, yo, you like the idea of a person. And that is because we don't know the delineating factor between interest and curiosity. But before we dive heavy into that, be sure to follow me on Instagram _just_seen _ be sure to check out my website at IamJustSeen.com to get all things that are just seen. To all those who tip, donate, sponsor to the podcast, you are greatly appreciated. To all those who would like to tip, donate, sponsor to the podcast, you can do so by clicking the link in the description of your podcast. Not this episode, but the podcast itself. And as always, Cash App and PayPal are just fine. And as you know, that's that for this and that's this for that. So we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to dive into Impromptu Pop-Up 26, I believe it is. Yeah. Impromptu Pop-Up 26, interest rates. And don't forget to visit IamJustSeen.com. There, you can get all things Just Seen. You want to add the So For Real series to your library? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You want to learn how to master the markets for serious trading and investing? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You want to get your hands on some exclusive merch like tees, hoodies, coffee mugs, hats, bags? Visit IamJustSeen.com. Are you thinking about transitioning into the plant-based lifestyle? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You ever want to just chat with Seen about anything from simple advice to mentorship? Visit IamJustSeen.com. Anything and everything that is me, you can find at IamJustSeen.com. So take a quick peek into my world to see why being just seen is nothing less but always more. Because you never really know what you need until you see it, and you will never see it unless you visit IamJustSeen.com. All right. Welcome back. And without further ado, we're going to hop straight into this motherfucker. And we're going to start with, like I said, we got to start with first the understanding of the fact we don't really know the language that we speak. We fluently speak the language we don't understand. And one of the dangerous things about this language is the reality of synonyms and antonyms. Those are some of the most damaging things to people because it makes your mind lazy. You feel me? People would rather look for another word than know the definition of the word and use the right word, right? So we have lots of synonyms that don't mean the same thing. You feel me? Synonyms are similar, right? But they're not the same. And that is a fine reality. A lot of us think similarities are the same too, but it's not. That goes to show how deep shit really is because when we think two words that are synonymous are the same, we act like they're the same and we carry out, their reality. For example, people look and they ask me, why don't I say humble, but I use modesty? They're like, they're the same thing. They are not the same thing. Modesty is a matter of understanding your capacities, but not thinking above what you are. If I know that if Steph Curry calls himself a 3-point shooter, that is a modest statement. You feel what I'm saying? Because he shoots 3-pointers. Dwight Howard has made a few 3-pointers in his career, but because of that, he can't call himself a 3-point shooter. If he does, that means that he needs to be, that's where humility comes in. You feel what I'm saying? You don't have to be humble when you can do the shit. People miss that part about humility. Humility is to make yourself insignificant to something. Why would I make myself insignificant to something that I can actively do? You feel what I'm saying? My big brother one time, he heard my music. When he heard my music for the first time, he was like, yo, you're pretty good. I'm like, nigga, I'm dope. He said, don't get a big head. It's not about having a big head. I'm really one of the nicest pens in the world. Not just like in my area. I'm one of the nicest writers ever. I stand on that shit. There's just lyrics and shit and word patterns that I put together that nobody has put together yet. This shit that I've done years ago that if I float it right now, it'll still kill half of the music that's running right now. I'm dope. You feel me? But that's modesty. You feel me? That's modesty. I'm not saying that I have I'm not saying that I have achieved beyond what I've achieved. If you see, like y'all heard some of my jam sessions, and that's just jam sessions, y'all. Y'all haven't even seen my poetry. I don't share that part. That is a lot more convoluted because there's no music, there's no beat, there's no depth to where I'm like, there's no limit to what I can do. I confine myself purposely when I rap on beats. I stick to one topic. When I'm writing, freestyling, and I'm in my bag of poetry, like it's a whole different game. My pen is sick. You feel me? Think about the shit that I say on a regular basis that don't rhyme. You feel what I'm saying? But that's the point that I'm making. You feel me? I'm a very modest person. I don't think that I can do anything that I haven't done before. But I'm not humble. And so the reason why I'm using those two examples because it ties into this conversation because The fact that we use words that we try to use synonymous words, or we make things synonymous. Some things you can make synonymous that have nothing to do with each other. In this case, these two words do. But the point is, because we use synonymous rather than true definition of something, it allows us to give descriptions of a thing and never actually solidify something. This is why there's a whole problem between masculinity and femininity. And now why we can't get to any depths of each other, because we're so busy looking at descriptions and synonyms rather than actual definitions of the words. You ask a motherfucker what femininity is, they have no definition for you. Femininity is when a woman, she can be soft and she can, no, you're telling me what she does. Shut the fuck up. I'm not here listening to you. What, masculinity is, testosterone, protect him if I act. Nope, tell me what he does. You're not telling me what it is. You feel me? And my point was just proven in one of the recent lives that I did with a co-collaboration. Beautiful soul, dope person. But as we, and then no but really, it's just a transition. As we were talking, and she was like, "So what do you think this?" Once I laid out the definition, it made everything that we were talking about understandable. When you have no definition of something, you just rattling off synonyms, you pretty much speculating what the hell is going on. So when I said, look, if we look at masculinity as a spiritual, mental, and physical embodiment, the essence of analysis and synthesis, analysis and deconstruction, we look at femininity, synthesis, and construction. You have to see that first in the world to understand what role, what your energy is supposed to be out. Once I expressed those definitions, then we went into what those definitions do and embody and stuff. Then it was like, oh, I get it. So many people started hitting me up after that live and everything. It was like, yo, you taught me shit I didn't even know. Because the barrier to learning is definition. The barrier to learning is words. Simple. If you can't understand the words you're supposed to use to learn some shit, you're not gonna learn it. You feel me? We some of us act like we're not smart or something. No, you just don't know the definition of the word. Lexicons. Y'all seen why I did that episode? A lot of us don't have the lexicons to participate in the worlds we going in, but we try to participate in them. And we think because we know the synonyms that we can play in that world, you can't play in a world of lexicons with synonyms. You need the exact words and exact definitions. So when it comes to our relationships, y'all, like how I did that, I just smoothly slid that in, right? So when it comes to relationships, two concepts that we build in relationships on are the ideas, the synonyms of interest and curiosity misunderstood with each other. We really curious about a motherfucker and we'll tell them we're interested in them. And because we don't know the words, we know interest has a different connecting piece to it. But it's like, yo, you're curious. I just want, it's something about you. I've had that all the time. Like when I look back in hindsight, most of the women, I'm a mysterious motherfucker. Contrary to how transparent I am, I'm really a mysterious motherfucker. Like real shit. Like it's crazy, right? It's like people be like, and some people it fucks with their minds. I've talked to somebody one time because we're talking about relationships. We were, she was a good person, everything. We cool. But it was like, she was like, yo, I listened to all your episodes. I feel like I really know you. No, you don't. You think you know me, but you don't. You just heard what I told you. And I'm like, in real time, I'm not, but I'm saying in real time, I could be lying about everything that I said. I could be just pulling this shit out of my head. I didn't do no research, no study, nothing. This shit could just be coming off the top of my head. I'm freestyling and playing around with y'all. And I'm bullshitting. You feel what I'm saying? But the point is that as transparent as I am, I'm very mysterious. But in that same context, it's like that creates, I've learned that created a world of allure. Because a lot of the times when women, quote unquote, were interested in me shooting their shots at me, I'm talking about from years ago, not just in recent times and popular moments, but even from teenager and shit, every woman that I was involved with, for the most part, was curious about me. They were never really interested. And I didn't know the difference because it's like, it's the same shit. Oh, I'm interested in you. And it was always be the same reality as to how I can tell the difference between somebody who's interested and somebody's curious. You feel me? A curious motherfucker, it's like you ask them, seriously, what are your intentions with me? Or where you, I just want to see where it goes. That's a curious motherfucker. 99.99% of relationships, I'm dramatic. 99.99% of relationships are started off the fact that a motherfucker is curious. They have no goal, no vision, no dream, no plan on what they want out of a relationship. They just want to be around some motherfucking body. They're curious. And this is how I tie it in. Like I said, despite how transparent I am, I'm very, very mysterious. So a lot of people still, it's just something about you that I want to know. What? I don't know. Then how you know that there's something about me that you want to know? Like I would have had to give you some kind of glimpse into something to make you say, I want to know more about that or whatever. But what is it? It's just something about you. Oh, you're curious. You're not interested. You're curious. It's very important. It's a song called Curious. You feel me? I think who sang it? Mid Atlantic Star or some shit. I know Tony Yayo redid it, but that was trash. Whoever gave that motherfucker record label, like, yo, I'm not even mad. Like Tony Yayo, G Unit and shit. I was a G Unit fan and shit. But I ain't gonna hold you. They had us screaming free Yayo, like he was gonna come out being the best rapper alive. Like, what? It's like, yo, what? That's a whole different, that was now that helps segue into the next part of this because it's like what G Unit did with Tony Yayo was, free Yayo. It gave us interest. We weren't curious about who Yayo was. We knew Yayo was locked up. We knew Yayo had caught charge. We knew Yayo was a real nigga because 50 only kept real niggas and killers around him. We knew Banks could rap. We knew Buck could rap. We knew Game could rap. We knew 50 could rap. We knew we had an interest in Tony Yayo. We knew his name. Tony Yayo was so well defined within us that we was like, yo, free Yayo. Who's Yayo? I don't fucking know. That's 50 homeboy, but free that nigga, bro. Let me go get me a t-shirt, free Yayo, scream free Yayo here. Motherfuckers are screaming free Yayo because we had interested. We weren't curious about who Tony Yayo was. We were interested in him. Interested in him. So much so that when he came out, we was like, oh, you just all right. You just all right, bro. Like that album, it had like two good songs on it. Two good songs on it. You feel me? But that's a whole different point. The point that I'm making, I'm bringing that back in. I'm using that to segue into interest, right? Difference between curiosity. So when, like I said, when I talk to somebody, women's like, "Yo, I'm interested in you," and blah blah blah, and it's like, and I'm talking, it's like, "Yo, you're interested in me," and this is how I learn the difference. The difference between interest and curiosity. Interest adds value. Curiosity has nothing to add. I'm gonna say that shit again. Interest adds value. Curiosity has nothing to add. A curious motherfucker can't add to the conversation. They don't know what the fuck is going on. An interested motherfucker can. Why? Because interest has three realities to it. You feel me? Interest is a I ain't gonna say really has three realities to it. No, interest is a third reality of something that creates. Never mind. That's another topic right now. Let me stay in the vein of where we at. So interest is adding value to something. When you're interested in it, you add value to it. This is one of the reasons why I understand why relationships fail and why people broke. This is gonna be so fucking crazy. And look, when you really think about it, it's gonna make so much sense. It's crazy how this lexicon that I'm about to break down is gonna really it might change your reality on how you approach relationships, how you look at relationships. But when we look at relationships, right, the lexicon of relationships, it is definitely it's largely equated to money. And when we look at what's the number one reason why marriages end, money. Most relationships, period, not just marriages, because marriages are on paper and you separated, last names gotta be exchanged, shit gotta be split in half, and all of this other shit that people don't pay attention to is being tied to money. Relationships are built on the same principles of understanding money. If you do not understand money, your relationships are failing too. And I'm not trying to be funny. This is one of the reasons why I tell motherfuckers, I'm like, before you have children, try to run a business for 3 years. Try to run a business for 3 years, straight, consistent. Because that's what it's going to take to raise a child. As a motherfucker who from podcasting to authoring to marketing to all the different things that I do, you feel me? If these were all kids, bruh, you feel me? If you're in my master in the market class, you know how meticulous I have gotten down to the markets? You feel me? But when I look at people who don't know how to do anything but a job, their relationship, because they don't know the value of money. When you learn the value of money, you learn how to have a better relationship. By default, whether you actually pay attention to, because there's certain words in money that are often parallel to the words in motherfucking relationships. First word, interest. Interest. When a motherfucker says they're interested in you, when you put your money in the bank and you gain interest, what is it? My money is gaining interest in this market. That means value is being added to my money. So that means that this, whatever I just put my money in, is interesting. It's interesting to me because it's adding value. Why don't we do that same shit with relationships? You're adding value to my life, so now I'm interested in you. When I heard the song Interested by NDRE, I loved the song because it was dope. You feel me? Especially Part of My Life. Part of My Life is doper than Interested, but Interested is actually titled Interest. Part of My Life is doper, but it's about interest rather than curiosity. Because she says, I know that it looks good, but can you be a part of my life? I know that it feels good, but can you be a part of my life? And it probably even tastes good, motherfucker. But can you be a part of my life? You feel me? And then she has another song called Interested. And in Interested, she's pretty much breaking down how she says, I'm interested. Can I be an instrument in changing your life? That's a bar. She says, I'm interested. Can I be an instrument in changing your life? How many instruments have changed your life who said they were interested in you? Not many, because a lot of motherfuckers don't know the difference between interest and curiosity. So connected it back to interest, right? Two things that we have when we look at market. And look, this is so easy for me to break down because I understand the markets too, right? What do we build relationships on? Bonds, right? When it's like, I'm going to make, we have a bond. We have a bond. All of these monetary words in relationships show me that you appreciate me. What does appreciation do? It gains over time. It's tied to interest too. You feel me? How do we? There's, like I said, there's a direct correlation between motherfuckers who can be financially stable and motherfuckers who can be in a good relationship simply because the lexicons are the same. That's how powerful words are, but that's how oblivious to words we really are. And we don't even compare the two. So it's like you're gonna get in. That's why poverty is powerful, because poverty is not just capitalism. It's not just motherfuckers saying, yo, you have an impoverished lexicon. You believe you're supposed to be in poverty. So everything around you becomes impoverished, even your relationships. So when you have what's called a vested interest in the motherfucker, I have the intention to add value. Like hell, all of y'all, and this is why a lot of people are losing in the markets right now, because they don't understand this simple concept of what interest really is. I'm just gonna put my money. How are you adding value to the market, to this stock? Because you have to take stock in something. You're investing. You're investing in the stock. What stock do you have? What stock do you have with this person? Right? But that's all rooted off of interest. Can you add value to what you say you're interested in? Or does curiosity just kill the cat? That's why at the beginning I use men as wanting to be curious and women usually interested, but it definitely swaps. All curiosity leads to kill cats. What the fuck? And that's what a lot of motherfuckers want. They just want sex. So curiosity ties you more to sex. You feel me? Interest ties you more to lifelong longevity of a relationship. A lot of motherfuckers really ain't interested in shit, because you know what it means to be interested? Interest sparks a series of events. When you're interested about something, you want to learn about it. When you want to learn more about it, you want to apply what you learn to it. So you can do what? Continue to stay interested, which what? Adds value to it. Nigga, just be curious. That's why they get into shit out of curiosity. And it's like, now I'm bored, because you're not doing your due diligence to keep your interest. Interest ain't on me to keep. Curiosity is. When you're in a relationship where a motherfucker comes to you off of curiosity, you have to be the medium that keeps them curious. Excuse me. You got to be the medium that keeps them curious. However, an interested motherfucker can keep themselves interested. Case in point, when a child is curious about some shit, let's look at how children play. When children are curious, they may explore it for a little bit and then they'll put it down. They get bored with it quick. A child who's interested in some shit, they get quiet, they disappear, and you gotta go find this little motherfucker. Like, dramatic effect. Your kids ain't little motherfuckers, but you gotta go find this little child. And when you find them, what is it? They were interested in it. Case in point, the most beautiful example, and I hope it happens when I have some motherfucking babies, just so I can record it and have fun, like, because I want this moment. You walk in, your child's covered in, well, damn, never mind. I probably won't have this moment because I don't use Vaseline and I don't. Anyway, you walk in and you just, now before you even walk in, right? You just it's quiet in here. Oh shit, where the fuck is the baby? You go in, it's Vaseline every fucking where. That child is, people don't understand how the mind of a child works sometimes because they're trying to process the mind of a child from the mind of adult, and the mind of adult has been weakened from the mind of a child. Very crazy shit. The mind has four levels: belief, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. By the time we become adults, we have been reduced down to belief when we started off with understanding as a kid. Yes, adults are stupid. Adults are stupid to kids. And we grow up as kids thinking adults are smart and they not. Because now we adults and we like, I looked up to motherfuckers who did not have shit, who did not know what the fuck was going on. They were curious about life. They were not interested. We've learned from a lot. We've taken a lot of solid things about people who, a lot of solid nuggets that we implanted within our minds and our psyches from curious people, not interested people. And I mean interested and curious about life and all of that other shit. Like, don't you just have there's a difference between having a curiosity in life and having an interest in life. And when I talk to people, they often ask me about, I'm gonna get back to the kid thing because it's Vaseline everywhere and shit. Just hold on to the Vaseline. When I talk to people about, they're like, yo, bro, how do you get to where you at? I try to read this book and I'm like, you don't have the same interest I do. You're curious because you're curious about you're curious about me and how I process shit. You're not interested in learning the information. You feel me? That's why when I talk to people, who try to come into, master the market, they be like, you know, damn, it's like, I want to do what you do, but you're not interested in it. That's why you have to pay me. Because you're gonna waste your money before you waste my time. Because I am interested in it. Not only am I interested, I'm beyond interested in this. And at this point, I'm vested in it. I'm invested in this. What do investments do? When you're in a relationship that starts off as an interest, all right, because I'm gonna go ahead and forget. All right, the kid got Vaseline everywhere. You clean him up, you love him. But the point is that child was interested in every single piece of what that Vaseline was. It feels a certain way. What does it feel like? What does it taste like? I know what it looks like already. I know what it smells like. What does it taste like? This shit's nasty. Ugh. But it's slippery. It's on my skin. Is it slippery everywhere? That's why it's everywhere. They have an interest in understanding what Vaseline is. Is it that powerful? We just come in and see, damn, you got this shit everywhere. And like, we're confused as to why they did that because they're interested. Children have a very, very viable interest in life, interest in learning. They're not just curious, they have an interest in learning. Everything the child learns is going to enhance who they are. We lose that as we become adults. We just become curious and nosy. Nosy as fuck. That's what curiosity is. Motherfuckers really just want to know what's going on, but they don't have the interest in it. You feel me? They don't have the interest in it. And so, tying that back into the grand scheme of relationships, coming from a child, we always had that. We know it's still there, but now we don't even have interest in shit because we don't even like shit no more. So now everything is about curiosity. You feel me? So now when you build a relationship off curiosity, now you got to tolerate the motherfucker because you don't get in a position where you want to learn who they are. And I realized that, like I said, that fucked me up so much in a relationship because imagine my heartbreak. It was on like, I know y'all probably tired of hearing about it, but it's just layers to how much information I can get out of that. Cause it's like, it only took me one time. You feel me? It only took me one time, but I realized that was a 2.5 year relationship based off of the fact that one motherfucker was curious and one motherfucker was interested. And I was the interested motherfucker and she was the curious motherfucker. It's not just putting the blame on her because of this, that. She told me when we first exchanged numbers, she said these words: I don't know what it is I like you for, whether it's a relationship or I just want to have sex with you. But I knew that I wanted to get your number. I said, okay. In me, I'm like, and at that time, I was looking for a girlfriend. I didn't know, okay, well, I have interest, like, and I was really interested in her, and the relationship played out that way. Curiosity adds nothing of value to a relationship. In interest it enhances the relationship, right? Again, this ain't just me blowing smoke out my ass. Her mother told her this. She said, "Your life was so much better with him in it." Like, she basically told her she fucked up. And it's like, at the time, everybody's telling me some shit. Well, yeah, bro, you was a good man. You just that and the third. And it's like, I couldn't. I'm like, you have to. Sometimes that shit can inflate your ego, and you can't look at the reality and shit. So while everybody's telling me, yo, you a good man, you didn't cheat, you put up with her attitude, you did all of the shit that you. I was interested in somebody who was curious in me, and nobody can tell me why. Nobody was able to tell me that I'm interested in somebody who's curious. Curious motherfuckers just want to sit around. And this is when you get to those points where it's like, oh, it's love bombs. Oh, I want to learn everything about you. You're curious until you find the point that you no longer have to be curious, because it's like, all right, you're not interested. How can you make me better? I'm going to make you better because I've learned that I've been interested in women for a long. Like, this is the real reality. Motherfuckers have asked me, yo, how do you understand women? I really legit be interested in the women that I'm talking to. So when they tell me shit, I listen. I pay attention to what she's really saying. I'm not just curious I can fuck. I really be interested. So I add value into it. I add the value to the relationship to get the best out of the experience. You feel me? So now, when I have podcasts, when I can do an impromptu episode on pH, where did I get that? I don't have a pH. I have a blood pH, but I don't have a pH of a vagina. I don't have a vagina. Why the fuck would I know any of this? Why would the fuck would I even have a rabbit hole for this? Because I'm actually interested in women. Realistically, I've gotten beyond the point of curiosity. You feel me? I've killed enough cats. I don't need curiosity no more. My bad, y'all. My bad. But for real shit. It's an entendre metaphor, whatever. But I've killed enough cats. I don't need curiosity anymore. Now I realize that, because it's like, after I'm curious, then what? You change. Now, when you're curious, this now goes into a different part. Because when you're curious about a relationship or about a person, right? What you do is you approach that relationship as a goal. Hashtag relationship goals. But when you have interest in somebody, you have relationship intentions. I'm interested in you because I have intentions for what I need a partner to do for me. You got to do it. It's non-negotiable. And because it's non-negotiable, I need somebody who's interested in doing that shit. Motherfuckers ain't, we are in relationships oftentimes with motherfuckers who are not interested in being in a relationship. Fuck interest in us, because they're just curious, but they're not even interested in a relationship. Ask a motherfucker what they want out of a relationship. Now, a lot of motherfuckers, if you ask what they want out of a relationship, their goals are how they are benefited. The true intentional relationships are ones where it's like, how can I fulfill my life's purpose with this person? Niggas got to know they like purpose to be able to do that. You feel what I'm saying? Motherfuckers look at, oh, Jay-Z and Beyonce relationship goals. No, they need to be relationship intentions. These two motherfuckers have the same intentions. That's why they work so well. You feel me? I get it. Jay cheated, whatever. They said B cheated too. Who knows? I don't give a fuck. That's their life. But the purpose I'm saying is, you call them relationship goals out of curiosity. You're curious as to what they do. You don't understand the intentions, or you're curious as to what they do. You're not invested. This is why celebrities are what they are. We gain a certain interest in a celebrity's life, and we think it's just like they made us create interest in their lives, and we stay interested. So much so we invest time in watching them all the fucking time. Curiosity has nothing of value to add. When you're interested in something, when somebody makes you interested, they're gonna add value to you, and you're gonna add value to them. But when it comes to keeping up with all of these other goofy motherfuckers and shit, celebrities and all of that shit, we don't understand the intention behind why they work. We look at, oh, Kanye Wild and Kim's what, like, these two motherfuckers had different interests. They were interested in different things. We already know what Kim was interested in. Kanye was really just curious, if you ask me, because there's no benefit to anything that he does that she can do. Like, really, realistically. That was a goal of curiosity. That was a relationship of curiosity. And once curiosity dies, what happens? A divorce happens. You separate. You know why Jay-Z and Beyonce couldn't get a divorce? Because they are yoked to the point where they are interested in each other. The interest led them to invest in each other to where they have both amassed billions of dollars together under the same interest. They both make music. Why do you think all of their collabs are bangers? Because they both do music. They're interested in each other. They're interested in the same shit in life. So that interest accumulates and adds value because it becomes an investment. That investment appreciates. The bond strengthens. I told you, man, it's a lexicon. And it's almost like it's almost a real reality to where it's like it's a one-to-one between successful relationships and people with good financial stability. You feel me? This is why that battle comes in where dudes feel like all women are gold diggers. No, all women require financial stability. Some women are gold diggers, right? But you'll see a gold digger out of somebody you're curious in. You'll see somebody who's financially responsible, you'll see the financial stability in somebody who you have interested in, who you're interested in. You feel me? Because it's like, yo, do you blow money and shit? Like, I don't, as the entrepreneur that I am, the motherfucking moneymaker that I am, I can't be with a woman who just blows money. You stupid as fuck. We got a problem if we do. If you, I date in this curiosity and interest. I was, vibing with this woman one time, and I think she was going on a girl trip or some shit. And I think like the Uber guy or somebody picked him up. It was in an all black, like Yukon XL, blacked out, black rims, everything. And she just texted me, just, yo, this is so boss move. This is such a boss move. Like, yo, just think about pulling up in a big body like this and all of this shit. And I'm like, she like, see, you just down. I'm like, I'm not interested in that. I don't see how this adds value. You feel me? If we look at, let's say I would have made that quote unquote boss move, we vibed out and, things work. And I would have made that boss move and bought that big ass Yukon today and had that big ass motherfucking Yukon XL using that bitch today with gas at $5, $7 and shit today. That's not a financially smart move, but that's an impulsive move that's based off of curiosity, not interest. The curiosity of being a boss, not the interest in bossing up. This is not a disrespectful point to her, because like I said, she was a very dope person, very inventive mind. But the difference is she came into the relationship or the situation out of curiosity. I went into it as interest. Like, I was really interested. So that's like when she told me, yo, I got this entrepreneurship idea, I was doing like research and shit. Like, that's a dope ass motherfucker idea. Let me do a little bit more, because that's your world. I want to come into your world. So when you spark something, I'm going to come into it. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm gonna have interest in it. And that was one of the things that kind of clashed with us, because of like, she was big on astrology, big on it. But she was big on it to the point that it was just the curiosity. She knew enough about it to talk to people who didn't know much about it. But I'm the person who's interested in people. I'm interested in things. So if you bring me a new concept to it, I'm likely to know the concept better than you by the time we meet again. But that doesn't mean that I did it as a means to compete. I did it because I was interested in it, because I needed to add value, not only to my own information, but to our friendship. If I truly valued our friendship, I'm going to take an interest in the things that make us friends, or the things that don't make us friends, because they're you. You're still my friend. I still got to be able to connect with you. Or you're in my relationship. You still my woman. I got to find a way to stay interested in you, because you got to do some interesting shit. But nobody wants to have interest. Everybody just wants curiosity. You feel me? And when it's curiosity, when the little shit that you start to do is like, it starts to become problematic. You feel me? I know a lot of women who, oh, I love your mind. Nah, you're curious to the depths of my mind. You don't really. Because if you did, you would have the intent, the interest in understanding how my mind works like this. A lot of people be thinking it's a matter of, what my mind is rather than how my mind works. You feel me? It's masculinity. Analysis and deconstruction. I can't help but analyze and deconstruct the world. That's why I know so much. But a lot of people want to take the interest. A lot of people are curious in knowing what I know rather than taking the interest in understanding how my mind works. You'll never know what I know unless you know how my mind processes the shit. The fuck? You feel what I'm saying? That's why my podcast can come out as profane profundity. Some motherfuckers and profane profundity is pretty much the epitome for me of the difference between interest and curiosity. The motherfuckers who listen to two or three episodes here and there, they hear one and say, "Oh my gosh, I really love this." They're curious. Y'all who have heard all episodes, y'all who do not miss a season, y'all who have leave the reviews, y'all who have subscribed and all of this on the different stations, y'all are interested in the shit. Y'all are interested in the shit and y'all add a value to it because it's reciprocating and adding a value to y'all. But y'all add value to it simply by paying attention to me. Paying attention. I checked the analytics. Some of y'all listen to all the full episode. So much so that it was like, I forgot. I think I booked a session or some shit. And we was about to get off the phone. And the motherfucker said, "Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom. I'm out." Whoa, wait. That's the outro shit. You feel me? You feel me? I had another person say, "Yeah, because you got to make sure you kiss your babies, make sure they're eating their vegetables." That means you're interested to the point you make it to the very end. Let's tie this back to relationships. Curiosity don't make it to the end. Interest does. Not interest. I'm sorry. Yeah, interest. Wait. Why do I feel like I've been talking about investing the whole time? Yeah, interest. My bad. I'm tripping. Money shit. But interest is what gets you to the end. Do you know why? Because you have to add a value to continually push through. You feel me? My mind is what it is because I'm interested in everything that I learn. Ain't no limit to me. That's what gives you limitations when you only have curiosity. People be thinking, yo, sky is the limit. The only limitation is your mind. No, the only limitation is the only limitation is not really your mind. The limitation is how your mind can understand the difference between interest and curiosity. Most of the shit we do is out of curiosity. We nosy. And that's where it becomes the difference between intention or not. When you're intentionally nosy, you have interest in something. That's why they call intentionally nosy inquisitive. Motherfuckers will tell me, I'm like, yo, I'll tell a motherfucker quick. Yo, break this down for me. I'm nosy as fuck. You not nosy. No, that's nosy. Call it what you want, semantics, whatever. I'm being nosy. I just have intention with what I'm being nosy about. Motherfuckers with no intention, they're just curious. And those are the motherfuckers who end up gossiping. They want to know all your motherfucking business just to have whatever and spread shit. And now they look stupid. Because half the shit they spreading is old news any motherfucking way. You feel what I'm saying? Because it kills that curiosity. Curiosity doesn't take you anywhere. It adds nothing of value, so you'll never make it to the end. You barely leave the beginning when you're just curious with a motherfucker. You feel me? Motherfuckers be like, that person ghosted me. We're going to talk about ghosting now, because ghosting ties into this shit too. Let me hit my water too while y'all marinate. Y'all ready? Because I'm ready. Ghosting is the reality of no longer being curious. This motherfucker just stopped talking. There was a moment when the curiosity died. Most of the time for men, most of the people, the curiosity dies after sex. We fucked up in the reality because I'm gonna tell you what the difference between interest and curiosity in this regard, right? Most of us, because we approach a relationship and we try to approach it lifelong, this is how we start off our intention. Regardless of what we think, we consciously know, I want a person that's this tall, high value, whatever. We're so wired to really only settle for a relationship with good sex that our first curiosity is how good they can fuck. If the sex is trash, everything else is going to fall. Not realizing that good sex comes from being interested in the motherfucker. So much so that you understand how they have sex. You don't go and just fuck them. This is why I always say you're masturbating with a body, because it's curiosity. You feel me? When I was young, I used to fuck women differently. Never knew why. Well, I do know why. I remember I was having a sex talk with my big homie and shit. The sex talk was basically, yo, when you fucking right, you gotta move your body, you gotta roll your body different because the way the pussy dropped and dipped. And motherfucker was wrong about what he was telling me, but he was trying to be noble in this shit. So he like, yeah, man, he said you fuck around and you hit in the right spot, flood the whole shit out. So my thing was, I'm trying to flood the whole shit out. So I was curious as to how to do that shit, right? But then it became interested. I developed an interest in understanding how to fuck women. I didn't just become curious and getting pussy. I became interested in having sex with women, right? So I would pay attention to how the bodies move. You feel me? And I would literally pay attention to the body I'm in. You feel what I'm saying? It'd be like, damn, why can't I go deeper here? Why does this one? Oh, what is that? That's why I joke and be like I'm a fundus pusher, only because it's like the interest in understanding that it made me learn the anatomy and physiology of a woman. This is why when dudes be like, yo, she ain't got no walls. Soon as that's because she wanted you in the pussy, bro. Like I had to learn this shit when the vagina is really Isley Brothers, bro. But I'm gonna laugh when she hear this shit. Isley Brothers got a line where they say, I love the way you receive me. I love the way you release me. You feel me? I talk about that as a very pivotal poetic line all the time with so many different people simply because it's like, y'all, that's what sex is supposed to like. A woman's supposed to open up and receive the man. You feel what I'm saying? We're like, yo, her walk, that's because she really wanted you in that. Ties into the point. A woman's vagina only opens up like that when she's really interested, not when she's curious. Not when she curious. You bring a chick home from the club. Yeah, that shit would tell you that she wasn't interested. She wasn't curious. I mean, she wasn't interested. She was only curious. She got it, and that's it. That's what this hot girl summer shit is. If y'all still having those, oh, I heard y'all switch it to healed girl summer. That hot girl summer burnt y'all. It was too hot. It was too hot. But nah. Let me get back on track, right? But the point of that is like curiosity kills the cat. But now we based our relationship solely off of curiosity. So it's like we get into it's like this is why we have negotiations and we have not negotiation, interrogations first. You feel me? What's this? What's that? What are your goals? What are your dreams? Everything is curiosity. Like, do you can I I'm curious because you look good, you're cute, you're beautiful, you're handsome, whatever. I'm curious to know if you fit my checklist. Hey, bro, for real though, at some point we gotta stop talking to women about masculinity and start talking to each other about it. And I mean really talk to each other. Not as enablers and co-signers, but as men trying to reach the pinnacle of our essence. And that's what the So Frail series does. So Frail 1 is the definition. So Frail 2 is the acknowledgement. And So Frail 3 is the resolution. If you rock with the So Frail conversations, I can guarantee you will rock with the So Frail series of books. So visit IamJustSaying.com right now so you can add the series to your library. I promise you will never look at masculinity the same again, and you're going to stop wasting your time arguing with women about it. This is a conversation that men need to have between men, and it's time we start having this conversation now. I'm not interested in being with you as a person. I'm interested in having a relationship with you. I'm curious to know if you can hit my checklist. How many motherfuckers got checklists? I'm gonna tell you right now, I ain't a motherfucker that you need to try to test your checklist with. I'm gonna fuck your checklist up. I'm gonna fuck it up. I'm telling you right now, because I don't fuck with shit like that. But because that requires me to be on my best behavior. We're curious to see, does this person behave well? Does this person behave according to my standard of mind? Not, can this person add value to my life because we are aligned in that way? A lot of motherfuckers don't be asking that question. The fuck? It's like, and this is just something that I had to learn over time. Like, when I tell women, like, yo, I do this for, my great grandkids. You feel me? It's amazing. It's shocking. It's like, yo, no, I have an interest in making sure my great grandkids don't have poverty. If you don't share that same interest, I really can't fuck with you like that. I don't need a motherfucker who's curious to know about some shit we can't see. Let me say that again. I don't need to be in a relationship focusing on a motherfucker who's curious about 4 generations out or 3 generations out. I need a motherfucker who's interested in 3 generations out. A motherfucker who's curious. I can't see that shit. All I know is I don't want my kids to go into poverty. Fuck that. I'm interested in making sure my children do not end up in poverty. So much so that I've done it for my great grandchildren. And let me tell you the reason behind that, right? I probably already said it before, but specifically my great granddaughter. The reason why I stand where I stand right now is because my My interest was when I started my entrepreneurship journey, when I decided, okay, bam, I need to create a world where my great granddaughter can thrive healthily, right? What does that look like? A lot of people have, you know, looked at me from that perspective, like, yo, oh, just have money. Mm-mm. There's a lot of shit that I got to change. If you listen to a lot of the episodes that I had, it's gonna put a lot of the pieces together to make sense of how interested in it, how interested in the thriving of my great granddaughter I'm in, to where when people ask me like, they be like, yo, you're so all over the place. They don't ask me, they tell me like, yo, you got so frail. That's about masculinity. Then you pivot to hitting the raw, which is about nutrition and eating better and things like that. Then you got master the market. It's like, what I do, what I have taken the interest to know that's necessary for my great granddaughter to be alive, to be thriving and healthy. My great granddaughter is going to be a black woman. What's the state of the world for black women right now? What's the state of the world for black women right now? As a father, I got to be able to protect against that. I got to be able to protect against that. So I had to set parameters in order to say, okay, by the time my great granddaughter's here, this is the world I need to have. This is the world that she needs to have. So what do I need to do first? Everybody talks about breaking generational curses. Everybody talks about the desire to, oh, I want to break a generational curse. Oh, I want to know. You niggas want to stop hurting. Y'all do not have the interest in breaking a generational curse. And I know because I look at the work that y'all refuse to do. Y'all are curious in breaking a generational curse. Y'all are curious in having money and all of that shit, but you're not interested in breaking the fucking curse. As a motherfucker who's broken curses, I can tell when a motherfucker's not interested in breaking a curse. They only curious about it because you can't get them to get off their ass to do shit. They need motivation. They need inspiration. They need all of this other shit. When you truly interested in that shit, you just wake up and go because you're interested in it, because it adds value, because you're continuing to submerge yourself in the shit to remain interested in it. A lot of people say, yo, you're too diligent, you're too hard work, you're focused, you're ambitious. It's not even ambitious, it's interested. It's interested. Yes, I have a strong ambition. I have an interest in making sure the world is secured for my great granddaughter. We not thinking the same. Y'all think it's about the money? No, no, no. It's literally all of this shit is about my great granddaughter. I know, passing it down, intention. Like, I got this conversation one time because a nigga was really, really tight. Motherfuckers like, yo, they had like your life supposed to be their life, whatever. So motherfucker was like, I said, yeah, I know my great granddaughter's gonna end up with a black man. How do you know she could be gay? Your child may be gay. I'm not. That's not like we're not like I don't because when I look at the dynamics of what like I'm not creating a world for that. You feel me? Now, at the same token, if she does happen to come out like that, cool. We don't know. I probably won't even be alive to see it. But the point that I'm making with that is that my interest in her is so solidified that it's like I'm going to make sure you're good when I'm gone, right? So when I look at that, it's like, look at the way the markets go. Why did I learn? Why did you spend all this time learning the markets? How many motherfuckers losing jobs? How is inflation busting everybody ass? Who's not being affected by the shit? The motherfucker who can read the fucking markets. It's like ludicrous shit. Stand up. Like when the markets move, I move. Just like that. Hell yeah. Hey DJ, bring that back. You feel me? I needed that. Now, because when I teach my sons and my daughters this skill, and they have it, to where it's like they don't gotta go through the shit that I gotta go through, that I had to go through to learn it. Now, your floor is my ceiling. You feel me? What they're gonna do with the shit is, but it's gonna be a snap of the fingers. You feel me? It's gonna be the snap of the fingers. But they're gonna have that skill, which means that it's gonna translate to my grandkids, their kids, because they're gonna have that skill. Translate to because they're gonna have that skill. That is a skill that's not leaving my family, right? Because at any given moment, this economy can do whatever the fuck it's gonna do, but the money will always move. Motherfuckers have lost jobs, motherfuckers have lost their sanity, all kind of shit because of fucking money. Because of money. And it's not so much as not having the money, but not having the ability to generate it at will. That's what mastering the market is for me. It ain't about the bread, it's about the capacity to generate the money at will. No matter where I go, as long as I got Wi-Fi and my phone, trust me, I'm good. I'm good. On any MLK Boulevard. You feel me? Imagine how refined it's gonna be 4 generations out. Motherfuckers already say I'm the market whisperer now. I'm dope with this shit. Imagine what it's gonna be for my great grandchildren. They gonna eyeball the shit. You feel me? It's gonna be so automatic. It's like, bro, why would you invest in that? Why would you buy that? Like, cause it has this, that, and the third. And motherfuckers is gonna be on some other shit, and it's gonna be so basic. I know it's gonna be like that for them because it's hard for me to explain basic shit now. Cause my advanced shit has become basics to me, and I'm trying to tell you a correlation. What the fuck is that? I really got yeah. Oh, you don't really want to practice with you don't want to practice with the gladiators for real, for real. You're curious about the markets. My best students are the ones who are interested. The motherfuckers who are curious about how to make the money, they fail. I ain't gonna say they fail because I don't know. But you feel me? No, I ain't gonna say they fail. They don't get through the course material. So they might fail because they didn't get through it. But whatever. The ones who are truly interested, they go front to back, left to right. They watch these bitches more than one time. So when I open up the Inflate with Inflation community, I only want interested motherfuckers in there. That's why I can only answer it because it's motherfuckers who just don't want to lose any money. It's like, I want to approach the stock market, but I just don't want to lose any money. Oh, you're curious. Get the fuck out of my face. Literally get the fuck out of my face. You're interested. I could fuck with you. You know why? Because you're going to add value to the situation. Curious motherfuckers were the motherfuckers in class who had all of the fucking questions. I'm not gonna ask. I'm curious, but it ain't that serious. I ain't gotta know. An interested motherfucker, I was the motherfucker because I was so interested in shit. I would get rolled up in class. I would get the bad note. He's a very smart kid. He just talks too much. Bitch, I'm here to learn. Bitch, I'm here to learn. The fuck? Fuck you think I'm supposed to do? But alas, you know how many of us are built off of that? We're built off of reality that we enter everything out of curiosity. Feel me? So, tying to this, because I'm going to finish this point so I can keep going. The intention with my great granddaughter was, okay, one, financially, I needed, fuck having the money. Do you have the skills and the resources to make money when you want to? If all else fails, you feel me? If nobody wants to read, if I had to look at it like this, now, that's what So Frail came about. I'm like, I will need to set a template for what the men of my lineage need to be. That means the ones birthed from the wombs that come down my tree and those who are brought in. How do I leave the template and set the standard at the same time? I write So Frail. I'm literally here. Like the shit that I put in So Frail is the shit that I do and I have done. That's why I was so fluid. Like when people ask me like, yo, how did you write this book in a month? Like all of the books were written over a month's time. Collectively, like, yeah, I had breaks but when I lock in and put the time on it, it only takes me a month. They're like, how? Because it's in me. I do this. I don't think about this. This is why it's like I don't have to do the battle of the sexes and staying like my analysis of deconstruction is so motherfucking on point. I can analyze and deconstruct everything. You feel what I'm saying? I need my daughters, my granddaughters, my great granddaughters to be able to spot that in a man. How can I make not only can I spot that, now I have to also flip it to make sure that my sons, my grandsons, and my great grandsons are that. So again, it still comes down to the center point of my great granddaughter, but all these things are reverberating effects because now not only do they have the template for what masculinity really is, they can embody it. Now, short like the daughters, if you're not like my brothers, if you're not like my father, and it's gonna be you're gonna have to read this book. You're gonna have to get on this level to know what we on. You feel me? Because that's how this world has been moving, right? Understanding how to even hitting it raw, whether they go plant-based or not, or whether they choose to eat meat or whatever the case may be. That hitting it raw content and that information is going to be, it's nutrition. It shows you how to put the right shit in your body. Then you can make the choice. A lot of motherfuckers can't make the choice on what to eat because they don't know. It's ignorance. That is a whole different level. You feel me? But because of that, those are things that I wanted to I gotta leave. So when I leave all of these things and my great grandchild is here, so I'm good. I'm not gonna worry about shit. I'm not gonna worry about shit. When I was watching Black Panther, after he went to the spirit realm or whatever, and he was talking to his dad, he was like, "If I have not prepared my son for my death, I have failed as a father." Those words touch my motherfucking soul because that's what it means to be interested in something. You're so interested in it that if you depart from it, you have already poured so much into it and added the value has already been multiplied by the time you check out. Curiosity ain't got shit to add. It ain't got a motherfucking thing to add, and that's what we base our relationships on. Why? What kind of bullshit is that? Motherfuckers and dudes, it's like this, and for us as men, this is why relationship shit is so instant, right? And I will always realize, like, I had this conversation with a woman one time. I said, "Yo, you give me 5 minutes. Give me a 5 minute conversation with a woman that I really want, and I'll get her number." No, you won't. No, you won't. You can't get my number. I said, I don't want you, but okay. You feel me? You can get my number. We can have a whole conversation for 5, 10, 20, 30 minutes, and I still wouldn't give you my number. If I wanted you, you would give me my number. I'm gonna give me your number. You just no, see, that's the see you no, I'm not being arrogant. I'm telling you about experience, but now I'm tying it in because at this point in my life, I can understand how that worked. I'm interested. I'm interested. So I know what to explore about you to become more interested in you. Give me 5 minutes. I'm gonna get your number because I know what your interests are. And I can determine, am I really interested in that? I realize from looking back, I was never really a curious person when it came to relationships. That's why I was like, "Yo, how you always get the number?" Because I never got numbers the first time I seen a woman. I was like, "Yo, I got to see you multiple times." Curiosity is just I see this motherfucker once. Oh, quick, let me get the number right now. No, I ain't got no fuck that. I might not even like you. I've learned that from experience. When I was like between the ages of like 14 and 16, I got so many motherfucking numbers. So many numbers that I forgot about, didn't even call. And it's like, because the curiosity was there. You feel me? Off rip. She thick. Let me get that number. I gotta get the number. I gotta get the number. I gotta get the number. And that makes us as men so instantaneous based off curiosity. Because curiosity killed the cat. But it's the curiosity that we use, and once we half the women that she bad, that's all it is, physical shit. Once we get into the thing, and that's what happens. This is why men cheat. We lock ourselves into relationships based on curiosity. This is why anybody cheats, because you're losing. You feel like you're losing in a relationship, but for one, specifically because the curiosity's ran out and you've already locked yourself in a relationship. This is why a lot of people can't articulate that. When women say shit like, "Man, you just need to be honest." I can't be honest because the curiosity, like, you only curiosity is not curiosity adds nothing of value. Honesty is valuable. Lies are invaluable. So curiosity is what you feel me. I want to know I am going to do what needs to be done to absolve my curiosity. My curiosity, chances are, as a man, is to get some pussy. Like, what do I have to do to get it? Not only it, through experience, I know what I got to do to get it. What I got to do to get yours? I'm curious to know what I got to do to get yours. You feel me? Sadly enough, a lot of times it's not hard. You feel me? I'm not calling women easy and shit like that, but I'm saying the level of the curiosity that men approach, because we're taught. Look at the way the relationships are played out. Taught to have a submissive woman. Taught to get, so you're automatically off rip going to get a woman who's beneath you. You're going to be curious in a woman who's beneath you. So if you're curious in a woman who's beneath you and you're above her, she's going to look up and aspire to what you have. She's likely to be interested in you while you're curious in her. So then you get fucked. The woman, you fuck her, leave her. Feel me? I made a song when I was like 21, 22 called Found, Fucked, and Forgotten. I didn't realize how disrespectful and rude that song was at the time because it was very disrespectful, whatever. But the purpose of it all is like all of the descriptions that I was talking about was curiosity. They weren't real women per se. I didn't use real names and all that shit. But there were real experiences that tied into shit. And it was just like, hmm, hmm, hmm. When I look back at all of the bodies I got, I was interested in only like 4 women. The best sex that I've had came from women that I was interested in. By proxy, the other sex was just curious. You feel me? Like I said, when I worked at the call center and shit, and the women had made the bet who's gonna, they was all curious and just like, it's just something about you. You walk a certain way. Y'all call it big dick energy, and that's what's getting y'all fucked up. Y'all are curious about big dick energy. So when a motherfucker exhibits quote unquote big dick energy, you gonna fuck with him. And then when he don't fuck with you no more, now he's a fuck boy. Now he's wrong. No, 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 no. Let's stop doing that shit. Because when we constantly point fingers and shit, we can't look at this real reality, the fact that we involving ourselves with motherfuckers we curious with and not motherfuckers that we interested in. Have these motherfuckers that are fuck boys. Have these motherfuckers that are bad, that are bum bitches and all this goofy shit were motherfuckers we were curious about and motherfuckers who we were curious with, and we try to have a relationship off of curiosity. That's our fault. That's our fault. You weren't interested in the motherfucker, and you should have. And at any given moment, you were supposed to know that they're not interested in me. They're just curious. Why? Because they're not adding any value. They're not trying to learn about me, but I'm steady trying to chase behind them and learn everything about them and shit like that. Nah, and then sometimes you're curious too. You curious too. You feel me? My transparency with the world, from whether it be social media here, that's just one polarity. Like this, the tip of my iceberg. And that makes motherfuckers feel like, ooh, I want to know more. No, you don't. Can now I start fucking with you. Now I start fucking with you. You feel me? I got relationships with people who, well, old relationships. They're like, yo, I can't fuck with you no more because of your belief system. All right, cool. You were never interested in who I was. That's a finite piece of like when when it's curiosity, when one small detail can magnify everything. You're not interested in the totality of that person. You're curious about how this person could fit into your life. It's not interesting how you can work together with this person to create a better life, which is how relationships are supposed to be built. You feel me? I'm interested in you. Can we make a better life together? Not curious and that's why I so like, you feel me? I be telling motherfuckers like, because I understand how relationships work with the curiosity and shit and knowing the, interest part and shit too. Like knowing that I go into a relationship, like, it wouldn't be fair. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had to do one time clown me, like, I'm a troll, bro. I'm a troll. Like, you can't play with me. I'm the goat and the troll. I run the bridge the whole way around. You feel me? So don't come in my shit trying to troll and shit, right? Motherfucker was like, talking about, yo, how you gonna be claiming this masculinity shit and you need to pick up some weight. I said, no, I don't. My body is supposed to, and like when I broke down why my body is supposed to be this big and I'm actually right, motherfucker looks stupid. I'm like, bruh, if I had muscles, it wouldn't be fair. It wouldn't be fair. Like I get the Trey Songz thing is Mr. Steal Your Girl. Like no, it's real shit. I'm on a whole different level with Mr. Steal Your Girl. If I wanted to steal your girl, I could. Y'all, I promise you, niggas is lucky I don't. I've stolen enough girls to know that if I can do the shit from a curious perspective, bro, trust me. If I put interest in a woman that's not finding interest, I can take your girl. I know because that's how I used to take them. That's why I hate this reality because I didn't know that it was gonna play out like this. But my mom's best friend, her son, had a girlfriend. We were in high school. And I fucked his girlfriend before he did. I didn't even know that his girl was a virgin at the time. That's why I don't fuck with virgins. But I didn't know his girl was a virgin at the time. She kept telling me, yeah, I'm not a virgin. It just been a long time since I had some, so it's gonna be tight or whatever the case may be, blah, blah, blah. No, no. At the time, if I would have known what I know now, I would have been like, nah, you was a virgin, bro. You didn't even open up. You was like, you know what I'm saying? Because I know the body shit. But you feel me? So I hit. You feel me? And then it's like, mind you, I don't know that his mom and my mom are friends. I don't know shit about shit. I'm in high school, bro. I don't even talk to this nigga on a regular basis when we walking through the hallway. You feel me? It's just like, when you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So I end up smashing, right? Niggas found out, yo, I heard like, hey, what you gonna do? Niggas didn't do shit, right? But then time goes on. We ended up going to the same college. So my mama, she asked me, she said, such and such. No, matter of fact, I didn't even know that this was her son. Like my mom and her mom were my mom and his mom were talking or some shit. And he was talking about, school. I think they went out to eat, invited. I don't remember the conversation. There's so many different perspectives to it. But it was like, why don't y'all, ride to school together? Y'all both go to Fayetteville State. I was like, who? And then she said his name. I was like, oh. And then like then it came to where like we was in the same space, and I was like, this is awkward as fuck. Mom was like, why don't y'all talk? Mom, it's unwritten codes you don't know about. I don't even think I said I fucked his girlfriend before him in high school. Like I can't share that. That's why we don't fuck with each other. You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? But the point that I was making was that is that the reason why she was able to cheat and do what she did because I created that curiosity out of her. She was curious about what it was about me. Every woman that has ever cheated with me was just something. I ain't shit. Well, I am now. I won't shit then. But the women who cheat is just it's just something about you because I tapped into your interest. I made you feel seen. Pun intended. That was a bar. Oh man, that was a fucking bar, yo. That was it. Pun intended. Pun intended. But yeah, I made you feel seen because I showed interest in you. You feel me? I showed interest in you. It's like there's no fail. Like literally, I would be having like, yo, my man doesn't see me like that. How? Because you didn't set the relationship up like that. You didn't have the intention to even be seen that way. I give you like every woman that I encountered, like when we first start talking, it's like, damn, you really let me be myself. Because I'm being myself. The fuck, I gotta see who you. I have to develop the right interest in you, totality wise. When there's limitations, like, are you just curious in me? I'm learning now what it is to experience curiosity. What it is when just a woman is curious in me rather than interested in me. Like, because that interest, it adds value to you. When somebody's really interested in you, they really gonna try to add value to you. They're like the little nuances and shit that is problematic for you. And here's the thing: like a lot of people think, oh, somebody's trying to control you. No, they have an interest in how well you two can continue tying it back into business and money. How well we can ride this investment profitably before the ship crashes. You feel me? Motherfuckers get in relationships curiously, and the shit just keep dropping. It'll get better. It'll get better. No, you started off negative. You bought the stock too early, and it's dipping. There's no appreciation, there's depreciation because you came in this motherfucker curious and didn't know what the fuck was going on. You had no interest in what was going on, so you didn't learn how to play this game. Same shit with a relationship. You got curiosity going on, so you don't have the interest in learning this motherfucker. You just curious enough to say, I gotta behave a certain way so I can get some ass. You feel me? Everything is so sexual based that sex is supposed to be the final thing. Like your interest reaches a point where say, you know what, I can fuck you. Curiosity make us fuck first and say, you know what, I can't be with you because you're sex trash. What? What? You know why the sex is trash? Because you were never interested in the motherfucker in the first place. So out of curiosity, you fucked them like you fucked the last couple people, and they're not the last couple people. So in essence, you masturbating with the body. You feel what I'm saying? People that are interested in each other actually have sex. People that are curious in each other, they just masturbate with bodies. You feel me? Now let's look at the culture. How many women complain about not having orgasms? How many of these same women also say, I don't feel heard in my relationship? Which means what? Your entire shit was built off curiosity. My brothers, I want y'all to hear me well. And it's not a bragging thing, it's just reality. It's not hard to make a woman come, bro. It's not hard to make a woman orgasm. It's not. The fact that women collectively aren't having orgasms, and they're complaining about, that's why they need all of these fucking toys and all this other shit, is because curiosity. Curiosity. A woman, you're not gonna release a woman the right way if you're not interested in her. If you're curious, you can tolerate enough of the things to get the list that, for the list to be checked off. And we wonder why we nut quicker and quicker and quicker as we get up. Because it's like, all right, bet. I'm not even curious enough. I got it. It's old. The challenge is over. This is why I be telling motherfuckers, y'all gotta stop, y'all gotta change y'all mindset with how y'all approach relationships. Relationships has a lexicon of money for the most part, but we treat it like an animal kingdom. Animals don't have currency. Hear me well. Animals don't exchange currency. Humans do. Because currency is an energy, but animals don't exchange currency. But we have reduced ourselves to think like animals. Really sit and think about that shit. Oh, the man he pursues, men are the predators, they the hunters and shit. Okay, so what does a hunter do after he eats? Pray. I got it. I got it. I'm done. I don't have to. The fuck? The spider is the best. This is why I use the spider versus the cheetah. I used to be a cheetah. Pun intended again. Back in the day. You feel me? I was a hunter. Like, you feel me? Oh, I'm on it. Oh, she bad. Boom, give me the number. There was not a party I didn't go to. There was not like it got so crazy that numbers were just like, okay, what next, y'all? It's like, yo, how many numbers? Like we used to, how many numbers? I'm like, I already know. And at that point, it's like, yo, I don't need. At that point, it went from fuck getting the numbers. I'm getting the baddest ones in the party. I'm getting the baddest ones in the spot, hands down. When I go on this motherfucker, I'm getting the baddest ones in this bitch. That's what it was. Fuck getting the number. Let me start getting quality now. You dig what I'm saying? But it was because of curiosity above anything else, not interest. You feel me? So in that time of just developing the curiosity and like, oh, this is it's like they bored me. I never forget. I never forget. I had a woman tell me, she's like, why we break up? I think we was kids when we went together. Because we was in high school. We went together middle school, elementary school, and high school. So it's like we was literally all level sweethearts and shit. But our last breakup, she asked me, like, why you break up with me? I was like, I don't even remember. I really didn't. She was like, because you said I was boring. There was no more curiosity there. I fucked again, because that was my only reality. She was thick, feel me? She was cute. And it's like I watched her develop. I remember when I was like, I remember when you didn't have no ass. You feel me? And she was like, I remember when you was short. The fuck? Like, you feel me? Like we had moments like that, but it was cool. You feel me? But it was like I watched her blossom. I watched her go through we watched each other mature as we went to with each other through those levels and shit. But then curiosity was all I had, especially by the time when we rendezvous, when we connected back again in high school, it was curiosity. It was just curiosity. I wasn't interested in her anymore. I was just curious. Damn, you older now. We older now. We can fuck. We ain't just got to kiss and shit and hide at the skate ring and shit. We can actually pull up. You feel me? I can go to your house. You can come to my house and shit. We can skip school together. We can do. Speaking of, her mama was an aunt, right? I said her mama. Her aunt was a teacher. I don't know why I said her mama was an aunt. Her aunt was a teacher, right? And she was my teacher. So one day, I skipped. Well, we both skipped. But see, I didn't even pull up. I just came to school. I literally woke up, told my homeboy, I said, bro, I ain't going to school. You're going to take the bus. He was like, all right. So I said, nah. I said, yo, I'm not going to school, so you had to take the bus home. He was like, what? I'm gonna get there. I said, I'm gonna drive you off. I gotta go pick somebody up. He said, man, you fucked up, man. He said, you ain't going to school for some pussy. I was like, man, I already know the material, bro. I'm passing the class. I don't give a fuck. So I go pick her up. Now, when I get to the school, I'll pull in my normal parking space, wait for her to come. She comes. Now, here's where it got fucked up, because this is gonna tie into the theme of what it is. This is where it got fucked up, because her aunt brings her to school. Her aunt brings her to school. Her aunt is a teacher. Her aunt knows all her teachers. The fuck? So she literally gets out of her aunt's car, acts like she's walking to the cafeteria for breakfast, and comes to the parking lot, get in the car with me. We leave. Right? I take her back. You feel me? I take her back before the bell rings and shit, so she can make it to her aunt's car and shit. Crazy shit, bro. I won't shit. I was weird, but I wasn't weird. I was, a kid. I was 16, 17 years old. So, anywho, I take her back. You feel me? So then I go to school the next day. Now, mind you, her aunt is my teacher. So it's like she knows me. So I get in there. She said, I know you skipped school, but I can't prove it. I said, I ain't skipped school. She said, I said, I was sick yesterday. She was like, you won't sick. I know I seen your car pull up. You didn't see my car pull up. I said, and this is when I fucked with her, right? I was a smart ass all my life. So she was like, I seen that car pull up. I said, no, you didn't. I said, your niece skipped school and you think she was with me and she wasn't. And she was like, I said, yeah, that's what the reason coming. I said, you need to talk to her. Now, granted, was I lying? Hell the fuck yeah. But at the same time, I was like, I wasn't lying because I technically wasn't in school. To be in school means that I would have had to be in first period, second period, third period. And then I said, I didn't skip. I didn't come. That's why when people are like, yo, you skipping school today? No, I'm just not going. I'm not skipping. I was like this. I'm not skipping a fucking class. That's stupid. 3 teachers are going to see me. We had like 4 classes or whatever. Well, I'm not gonna skip one class. 3 other teachers are gonna see me. They're gonna go to the lounge and talk. They know each other. The fuck? And then when you start to get at a point where everybody on the campus knows you, and not just from popular, like, you're not popular or whatever. You're not there because of one particular thing. Like teachers fuck with you, principals, administrators know you on first name basis. Teachers have because you were such a good student. And then it's like you just all the way around. You don't play sports. You don't like you just that dude. You feel me? Motherfuckers know you. So it's like you can't really hide. So I'm like, man, I'm not about to skip school. You feel me? I did it the first time I did it. I think when I skipped the class, I think I went to the gym or whatever. My PE teacher was in. He's like, yo, you were just here in first period. Why are you here again? You skipping? Damn, I'm caught. Fuck. Like, I can't do shit about that. So after that, I said, nah, if I'm gonna skip, I'm gonna skip the whole motherfucking day. But because I'm skipping the whole motherfucking day, you don't see me. You feel me? So tying that in to how this works, because like I said, this is gonna go into the episode. I was so curious about her that it was just about, yo, skip school with me for like, I didn't realize how interested in me she was. She did not give a fuck that her aunt could check with her teachers that she skipped. She did not give a fuck that her aunt drove her to school to know that she was there, to know that she never showed up for any of her classes. She was that interested in me. That interested. That was a different. She found value in who I was. And she made sure she enhanced it. Like I was doing music. I was doing like, I didn't appreciate her. I'm not gonna lie. I was too young to appreciate somebody who's interested in me when I'm just curious about them. I fucked that. And it's like, then after that, it's like, yo, what am I gonna fuck next? Like, nah. When I look at who it was, like she supported my music like nobody else. She kept my bars sharp. Like if I had MySpace music, so anytime I would post a new song, she'd be like, yo, okay, I don't think this bar hit the way it was supposed to. As I got my shit polished, she was there every step of the way. Luckily enough, I fucked up when I was a teenager with some shit like this. Because I didn't know how to determine if somebody was interested in me because I'm just curious in them. And then in a world where other women are just curious in me, oh, it's just something like this. And I want to do this. I want to know this. All right. Are you interested in that shit though? Because that means nothing. That's why mastering the market is like, I'll pay you to do it for me. No, I'm not interested. No, you're curious. Because then it's like, then your interest is going to change when you start to see how much money that I'm giving you back. But then you're going to start wondering, is he playing me? Is he flaking me out? You can't check it. You can't tell. I could be, for all you know, I could be giving you only 10% of our agreed upon amount. You'll never know. Because you don't have the interest to even understand what it is to learn this game. You're just curious about how to get the fucking money. Same shit. Dudes and women, our relationships are so fucked up now because we don't have the interest in being with somebody. We have the curiosity of fucking them. This whole new women embrace your sexuality shit, it's still basing it off of curiosity. You going to go random. And the hot girl summer is this curiosity shit. Fucking all these niggas, licks, and all of this other shit. But there's not many people that are interested in relationships anymore. Because motherfuckers don't know what interest is. And they make curiosity and interest synonymous. But curiosity is how they define it every time. I'm interested in you. Really? What interests you about me? I don't know. It's just something about you. Then you're curious. Shut the fuck up. You're not interested. Because when you're interested, you can identify what it is about me that makes me interested and what it connects to you that you can add value to. If you can't do that, you ain't interested for real. You just a curious motherfucker. And curiosity kills cats. That's why it's like all the shit. Why does it end in sex? That's a metaphor, but it's a bar. It lays there. But why you think it always ends in sex? Oh, are you like? I had a couple curious motherfuckers and shit. It's like, yo, all you wanted was the pussy and shit, nigga. Yeah. Oh shit, bro. Motherfuckers really like. I'm curious. I'm curious. I'm not interested in you. I'm just curious about you. And that's what fucks with a lot of people's heads on Instagram. They be thinking motherfuckers, nah, they curious. They curious. That's why I don't shoot shots on Instagram anymore. Like I used to do it back in like 2015 and shit. But it was like I would do it from the interested perspective, but they be curious. You feel me? Ooh, I like the way your mind work. I love your mind. Ooh, Peace King, you so woke. I like when you talk about this. I like when you talk about you're curious. You're not interested in me because you can't add anything of value to me right now. Other than the assumption. And this is why I joke with it, but it's a real reality. I'm like, when women are at the point where they have not generated the interest back, that's why I tell people you got to make me like you back. People don't get that. I'm like, you're curious, or you may even be interested, but you got to make me be interested in you too. I have to find a common interest because our relationship is a business partnership. You feel me? How we gonna travel in conjunction to how we relate to each other is the basis of interest. Can we grow? Do we develop? What is the real reality of this interest that we have? Do we even have real interest in each other? Or are we just curious enough to say, okay, you a motherfucker that I think can check off my list because you do this, that, and the third? Give a fuck. How can we be interesting together? Y'all are an interesting couple. Cause y'all are two interesting motherfuckers who are interested in the same shit. Relationships ain't hard. But then when you got two curious motherfuckers who's only curious about fucking each other, what you gonna get? At least heartbreaking at most babies. This shit crazy. And then it's like you get to those people who's like they have kids and that curiosity is there. They don't have any interest in life. What are you gonna impart on your babies? What are you gonna impart to your lineage? What are you interested in? You feel me? Me personally, I guess I can get it. It can become intimidating sometimes because people think, oh, you're interested in so much. Okay. What does that mean? When people tell me that I'm interested in so much, and it's like, I don't know I'm interested in all of it. I'm interested in living. People don't get that part. I'm bypass the individual thing. Oh, what are your interests? Because that's when it's curiosity. When you're focusing on one thing. You know, you ask a person, what are your interests? Ask you what your interests are. Who you be with. All right, my bad. But most people think they're giving off interest when they're giving off what makes them curious. What they're giving us their curiosities about a person. What are your interests? Here are my interests. I'm gonna call them interests, but they're really my curiosities about my significant other. This is the standard curiosities that I gotta have within my significant other, within myself. Things that I'm interested in. Because it's like you ask a motherfucker if you're interested, why don't you do it? Like, why are you not involved in what you're interested in? You feel me? I got people, yo, I was interested in that when I was like, how were you interested? No, you were curious. You can never was be interested. I know that grammatically don't make sense. Motherfucker, like, I was interested. You can't was be interested. To be interested in something is an ongoing thing. It's an engaged thing. Like the moment you're not interested in it anymore, it's dead. There's no viability to it because you're no longer adding value. When you're curious, you can bounce around from person to person, street to street, this, that, because you have no intention and you have no interest in what it is that you're doing. So you can't add value to it. Which means what? If there's no interest, there's no appreciation. There's no appreciation, there's no bond. You feel me? There's no bond, there's no relationship. There's no relationship, you have no business being together. Oh, and as I said, it all ties back into business. That's your business partner for life. And I think we fuck up and mess that up because we think for life as in the rest of our lives. No, that's your partner in experiencing life and living. And you can't experience a living life with somebody who's curious about you. You can only do that with a motherfucker who's interested. And don't forget to check out Pala Cafe Clothing, formerly Just Scenes merch. Get all of your intricate designs crafted specifically for the melanated being to develop a positive imagery within self and to have a little bit of fun in the process. From the peace, love, knowledge, and freedom to the dead horses and water designs, all of the styles are crafted for the imagery to make you feel as you're supposed to feel. Because as I always say, the best way to fit in is to stand out. And what better way to stand out than with your exclusive styles from Pala Cafe Clothing. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. Yeah, this is an impromptu. Season 8 still ain't coming back yet. I'm gonna make y'all wait a little bit longer. I'm getting more topics and more ideas anyway, but I'm enjoying the summer and shit. So, you know what I mean, we outside, but nah. Interest is that powerful. But it's crazy because we don't even know the difference between interest and curiosity. You feel me? They call this shit, alpha energy or whatever the case may be. That's bullshit too. Fuck all that goofy shit. Because motherfuckers be back on some animalistic shit. That's why they be fucking up. I need me an alpha male. I need me an alpha female. Blah, blah, blah. You're not a fucking lion. You're not a tiger. You're not a bear. Oh my. You're not a fucking wolf. None of that shit. You're a fucking human. So you don't need curiosity. You need intention. You need an interest in something. But this alpha shit is based off how can I beat my chest over another motherfucker? Or how can I be with another motherfucker who could beat their chest? Women love an alpha male not because of what he does for them, of what he can produce and show that he can do. Curiosity. That's why I need me a man who's this tall, this size, got a beard, got all of that shit, because that is what your template is. It's what you're curious about. You want to explore it. And then that was a fuck boy. How you keep ending up with fuck boys? Because you're curious about the same shit. You're interested in fuck boys and don't even know it. Because you stay curious about a man in certain capacities. That's fuck boy energy. The only energy you curious about is fuck boy energy. That's why you find it so easily. Dudes, y'all ain't safe. These gold diggers and all these other motherfuckers, that's the only energy you're curious about. Do you know why? Because it's a certain aesthetic that energy carries. That's why they getting on my nerves when nerds be like, yeah, the kid, they didn't like the good guys. You weren't a fucking good guy. You was a goober. You was a fucking cornball. Women like nerds. They like smart guys. They like people they were interested in. Not curious about. A lot of you motherfuckers were curious about these physical bodies and shit and think, oh, because I'm the smart man that she's supposed to be. No. She doesn't find interest in nerds. She has no desire to be curious about a fucking nerd. She got a desire to be curious about a fuck boy, though. She got a desire to be curious about a real nigga, a hood nigga, a thug motherfucker. Like, don't nobody have a desire to be curious about a nerd because they make nerds so taboo. So then you get older, and because you was a nerd, you accepted that role too. Oh, nerds ain't cool. Hey, I was a nerd like a motherfucker. Still a nerd now, but I'm cool as fuck. Cool as fuck. I've always been cool. You know why? Because I didn't internalize nerd as a bad thing. Bitch, I'm smarter than you. The fuck? You got me fucked up. You feel me? Now you gonna try to play me. Now I'm about to demoralize your ass. You gonna wish you was a nerd after fucking with me. And I can fight too. So when you gets to the words are too deep and shit, and the motherfucker like, yeah, I wasn't a nerd you could put in the trash can. I was not a nerd you could put in the trash can. Because niggas didn't know I was a nerd. You feel me? When I was in high school, I had a homegirl. She like, yo, you a gangster nerd, bro. I was like, what? She said, you one of the smartest motherfuckers I've ever met, but all you do is hang with street dudes. They know you smart too? Yeah, they know I'm smart. They know how smart I am. Like they fuck with, that's why they take my advice. They listen to me. You feel me? Like I tell people, this is a random tidbit, but people like, peace king, don't king me. I wasn't a king. Like when they be like, yo, we came from kings. I personally, from my lineage and know what my bloodline is and what my spiritual connection is, I wasn't a king. I was a king's vizier. Kings come to me for advice. Look at that shit in real life. Like motherfuckers really, I be wondering like, sometimes, you be wondering like whether or not you are at a certain level or not. I mean, I know fully, but if y'all heard the 200th episode, I told y'all pretty much what it is. But it's like people come to me for shit, but it be king level motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm the king's vizier. I would be equivalent of a king's vizier. You feel me? The motherfucker that, yo, the king, yo, I need some advice, bro. How should I run this shit? Because that's what motherfuckers do now. That's what people do now. They ask me for higher level advice because that's what it is. You feel me? But I said that to say this. A lot of people, because they don't know what it is within themselves that they're supposed to be doing, they don't have anything that they can be interested in. You feel what I'm saying? Case in point, I say this and I wrap it up. Look at podcasting. You feel me? I'm not tooting my horn saying I have among one of the dopest podcasts out because it's mine. But I have one of the dopest podcasts out because I'm interested in communicating a message. I'm not curious about making money off talking to people. This is why there's never this is why I have to call it profane profanity. There's never a set episode. There's not a theme here. The fuck? I get it. I got so frail conversations. I get it. I got profane profanity. The profane profanity is the main thing. Then I got so frail conversation. I got entrepreneurs. Then I got, of course, these impromptu pop-ups. Where's the theme? Other than the fact that this is just seen. This is just who the fuck I chose to be today. This is how I chose to express myself today. Just seen. You feel me? But we're in that space where I am interested in speaking and communicating what I've learned. That's why it's like I've learned so much that it's like I don't want to give it out. You feel me? But a lot of people are curious about talking about the different problems and shit. That's why their podcast has to stay within a certain vein. My shit's gonna pivot every season. And it can pivot every season because I'm able to stay tapped into whatever the fuck is going on. You feel me? My shit, I don't feel personally like my shit will ever die. Simply because I keep up with the times and I'm not beating dead horses. These niggas talk about the same shit every fucking day. I get like when people send me shit about certain motherfucking podcasts, like I know, like when they send me certain shit, I already know what the topic is. I already know what's about to be said. I really do. It's like just from looking at who's presenting it, it's like, bam. When you see Justine podcast, I promise you, when my notifications hit y'all that is described to the shit, y'all don't know what the fuck I'm about to be talking about. Hell, when this hit that said impromptu pop-ups, interest rates, you probably thought I was talking about money. You feel me? Clickbait shit. But you feel me? It's like, it's rabbit holes. It's rabbit holes, but it's a rabbit hole that I'm interested in. That's why it's not a hole. It's not a rabbit hole. I don't go, like, I be just fluidly flowing with this shit because I'm interested in doing this. I'm interested in communicating messages. You feel me? So my relationship with y'all is based off of that. I'm interested in communicating messages. Y'all are interested in communicating messages as well, but we're on opposite ends of it. I'm on the sending end, y'all on the receiving end. That's it. But we both share the common interest of communicating information, but all kinds of information. Y'all are into the misogyny shit that I talk to, the patriarchy breakdowns, the health, the entrepreneurship. Y'all are in the, y'all. If y'all listen to every episode, you're interested in the communicated message. You feel me? And that's why our relationships fail. That's why our relationships aren't what they're supposed to be, because we build everything off of curiosity. Curiosity adds nothing to any circumstance because curiosity is so minuscule. You feel me? Motherfuckers can be curious up until, like, for most men, we're curious until we have sex. Remember in Think Like a Man, the movie and the book, he was like, the 90-day rule. Imagine this. The whole concept of act like a lady, think like a man was under the premise that you're thinking like curious men when you were always a woman interested in the men you were involved with. He told you some shit, but didn't tell you the underlying issue of why it is. So now, what do? You stop having interest in men. Now you just become curious like men are. That's why you have to have a 90-day rule. A 90-day rule is not needed. They don't change shit. Niggas are curious enough to wait for pussy. Trust me. Trust me. Motherfuckers are curious enough to wait for some pussy. You feel me? Like, I seen this quote that said, men fuck who they can, women fuck who they want. You know why that's the case? Because men are always curious about pussy. Any pussy, really. But by proxy, I seen the response to it. It was some misogynistic shit, but it hit like a motherfucker. He said, men marry who they want. Women marry who they can. Because marriage is about interest. Any woman that a man decides to get interested in, he can marry her. So men can literally marry who we want. All we have to do is break the curiosity and tap into, you feel me, the interest. Women can't. Women can't because women can't be interested in all men because all men are not interesting, or not all men share interest in her. Some of them is just curiosity. So you can't share interest with curiosity. But as a man, I know all women at some point are going to want to be interested. The moment I tap into, I can marry whoever the fuck I want to. And you see that reality that's played out is based off of interest and curiosity. This is curiosity is the reason why women can fuck who they want, but interest is why men can marry who they want. Yeah, yeah. Sit with that. Sit with that. I do. Curiosity can't be what builds our relationships anymore. You feel me? And like I said, the ghost and shit, that's just motherfuckers who I'm not curious anymore. I literally got blocked and cussed out by this woman. She cussed me out and then blocked me so I couldn't say shit back. I be hating y'all goofy motherfuckers who do some shit like that. You gonna give me all of this shit talking about you ain't and then I can't say nothing back because you blocked me? Again, another curious motherfucker. You don't even have interest to have a good, healthy conversation. Curious ass. You just want some dick, and I'm not fucking you. Like that's you know what I'm saying? Like celibacy is real. I don't know why y'all believe and think that I'm not on this shit for real. Like the fuck? Because I have an interest. I'm not curious about pussy no more. Getting it. I've gotten it. I've gotten as much as I needed. That doesn't now have an interest in women. Our reality changes when men and women collectively transition from curiosity to interest. Transition out of I'm no longer curious about how the sex is going to be. I'm interested in how I can live with this person. Not just like cohabitate. I said live. You know what it means to live. To live means that you are every day putting your best foot forward, walking in your purpose in your life. Two motherfuckers got to both know their purpose for y'all to live together. Then you got to be able to then you got to be really interested in the motherfucker because now you got to take, you know what I mean? I had a girlfriend tell me, same girlfriend that our things clashed when I was interested in her. She was, she literally told me, I don't know if I just want to have sex with you, or be your girlfriend. I don't really know right now. She was curious. I should have just played on the curiosity and fucked her and left her alone. But alas, I didn't. I had interest in her. You feel me? I had interest beyond that. So I was like, yo, I'm in college now. We can graduate, blah, blah, blah. But I was already on that type of time. She wasn't. But if we can transition out of being curious for some sex, you feel me? Look at the little subtle shit you do. Like motherfucking now y'all doing the coochie shorts shit for dudes. Like y'all niggas is weird, bro. Like y'all went from rompers to dress. Like I hate y'all niggas, bro. I do. I do. How the fuck these niggas convince y'all to wear some Daisy Dukes? I don't fucking know. And then they call it comfortable. Y'all niggas weird, bro. Y'all niggas weird. Y'all done made me lose my whole train of thought just thinking about that shit, bro. Oh, that's what it was. But women to see that shit, gray sweatpants, all of that shit. And it's like, we see the same shit. Sundress season. Think about it. All of that's about a curiosity. What's under that sundress? You feel me? You feel me? When motherfuckers see the gray sweat, is he a grower or a shower? Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, it's all off of curiosity, not off of interest. Because you're not interested in what that dick comes with, are you, shorty? Nope. You're not interested with what comes with what's under that sundress, are you, homie? Nope. I know you ain't. I know you ain't. And that's what's getting you fucked up. That's what's getting all of us fucked up. We're so curious about shit, but we don't have interest in nothing. Ties into, ties into what Jay said in that Drake song. He said, we know the price of everything, but the value of nothing. Value comes with interest. Price comes with curiosity. We got to cut that shit out. We got to cut that shit out. I vow to never be interested in, I vow never to be curious in a relationship ever again. I need to be interested in you. I got to be interested in you because that's the only way I can add value to you and know what value you have to bring out of me. Because now that becomes a standard. Here's the value you have to bring out of me, non-negotiable. I ain't doing that. All right, bye, motherfucker. Fuck out of here. That's curiosity. Oh, I just want to see what it's like. I know. And Ray ended up with NDIRE. I know that it feels good, but can you be a part of my life? I know that it looks good, but can you be a part of my life? And it probably even tastes good, but can you be a part of my motherfucking life? That's the reality. And you can only be a part of my life if I am interesting to you because you're interested in me. Simple. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. Go kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables. And start now with understanding the babies early. Watch the difference. As I use with the little the example from with the Vaseline and shit, right? That's when a baby is interested in something. They quiet than the motherfucker. You can't find them for shit. When the baby just curious, give them 3, 4 minutes and their attention span is gone. There is no attention span with interest. I'm gonna say that again. There is no attention span with interest. When you have an attention span, it's out of curiosity. There is no attention span with interest. Tying it back into the money side. Interest accumulates nonstop until the source that creates the interest is removed. Curiosity, it dies once it's not answered. Children are interested in shit. This is why they ask you why. This is why they want to go down rabbit holes. This is why they want to ask all of the questions they can and experiment and submerge themselves in shit because they're interested in it. When they're just curious in something, you be thinking, oh, you got to fight through. You got to be, nah. I'm really going to end on a child side with here. Willow Smith was the perfect example of that shit. When she did that song, I whip my hair back and forth. She was curious about making a song. She wasn't interested in being an artist. Will Smith was like, yo, you got to be dedicated. You got to know the difference between curiosity and interest. And you got to stop making people appear to be interested in something they're just curious about and vice versa. Willow was only curious about it. She said, I'm done. I made a hit. I whipped my hair. I have a platinum album. I don't care anymore. I'm done. I just wanted to do it. I was curious about the process. Will's like, nah, you have an obligation. You got to commit. She said, I'll do you one better. And she cut her hair off. I'm not interested in this shit anymore. So much so that I'm telling you I'm done with it. And that was the most gangster shit ever as a child to see a child do that with that much power and confidence. But to be able to break away and say, okay, the reason why she's no longer curious about it, she went through it. That's what happens with a lot of children. They're curious about something, but they're not invested in it. They're not interested in it. And as parents, you try to make sure they are interested in everything they're curious about. Mm-mm. And that's the issue. Willow was like, I don't want to do this anymore, Dad. You have to. We got a tour. All right, nigga. Ain't the name of the song I whip my hair? I'm gonna cut my hair off. I can't whip shit. How about that? Oh, damn. You really done. That's interest. That's interest. I'm not interested in this shit. I was just curious about it. The curiosity's been solved. I'm done. So curiosity kills cats, and cats have 9 lives because it's an ongoing thing. Curiosity, you're gonna, all right, it is what it is. I'm done. All right. But interest is what makes you dedicate yourself to say, I want to do this. I'm going to bring out the best value out of this. All right. So make sure your babies start to pay attention to your babies. Just watch, just observe them. You'll see when they're curious and when they invested. I mean, they're interested in something. It consumes them. It consumes them. Curiosity, they'll put that shit down in 3 minutes. You come back and shit. It's toys every fucking where. Because they play with this one. I'm done with it. Play with that one. I'm done with it. Curiosity is done for the day. That's why you got to keep buying. Like, this is what ADHD is not a real thing in my opinion. I feel like personally ADHD is the continual creation of curiosity. And people think you don't have it. And the reason why is because nothing is interesting enough to focus on. Think about it. We learn in schools, you'll be like, yo, your kid might have ADHD. No, your teacher's boring. This motherfucker's trash. They have no excitement in their voice. They have no knowledge base of what they talking about. They just got because C's got degrees. So they make it seem like your child is uninterested in class or can't focus simply because your child is curious. And after that curiosity hits, I don't have to be curious anymore. If the question is 2 + 2 = 4, and now I know how to add and it's 4, there's no question for me anymore. But I have no interest in it either. ADHD is a result of solved curiosity without any interest. Nobody's interested in school. It sucks. It's trash. You can't wait for recess. The fuck? Simple. But make sure you're observing your babies when they're interested in something and when they're curious about something. And don't blur the lines and make them synonymous, because every time they become curious, you don't know when to let off the gas. And every time they become interested, you don't know when to put the gas on. All right. Break the cycle. Go kiss your babies and make sure to eat their vegetables. And I'm gonna see y'all all on the next one, or when season 8 comes back if I do another impromptu. Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom. I'm out.